What if Apple's smallest Mac becomes the Mac everyone wants? Not the MacBook Pro, not the iMac, not the Mac Studio. I'm talking about the Mac Mini. Now imagine this Mac Mini with the M5 chip, the same tiny 5 by 5-inch body, but this time in 5 colors: silver, black, blue, purple, and pink. That sounds like a simple design change, right? But it could be much bigger than that. Because if Apple gives the Mac Mini M5 power and 5 colors, this could become one of the most wanted desktop Macs Apple has ever made. But before we get excited, let's be clear. This is a serious look at why this idea makes sense, why demand could be huge, and what Apple would be competing against inside its own Mac lineup. And the first reason is simple price. The Mac Mini is still the easiest way to enter the Mac world with a desktop setup. Right now, Apple's US store shows the Mac Mini starting at $799. That gets you the M4 chip, 16 GB memory, and 5012 GB storage. Now compare that with the iMac. The iMac starts at $1,299. Yes, it gives you a display, keyboard, mouse, speakers, camera, and that clean all-in-one design. But many people already have a monitor. Many people already have a keyboard and mouse. Many creators already have a full desk setup. So for those people, the Mac Mini makes more sense. You are not paying for a display you may not need. You are paying for the computer. That is why the Mac Mini is so powerful as a product. It is small, clean, fast, and cheaper than most other Macs. Now add M5 to that. Apple says the M5 chip has 153 GB per second memory bandwidth. The current M4 Mac Mini has 120 GB per second memory bandwidth. So right there, M5 brings around a 30% jump in memory bandwidth. That matters because memory bandwidth is not just a number on a spec sheet. It helps when you are editing video, switching between apps, working with large files, using design tools, coding, or running heavy browser tabs all day. Apple also says M5 graphics performance is up to 45% higher than M4. And CPU multi-threaded performance is up to 15% faster than M4. Now listen to that carefully. If you already have an M4 Mac Mini, this may not be a must upgrade for everyone. But if you are coming from an Intel Mac, an M1 Mac Mini, or an older Windows desktop, the M5 Mac Mini could feel like a huge jump. This is where demand can explode, because people don't just buy specs. They buy upgrades they can feel. Faster exports, smoother editing, less waiting, less fan noise, a cleaner desk, a smaller machine, and now maybe a color that actually matches their setup. That is where the 5-color idea becomes interesting. Right now, the Mac Mini is silver. Clean, simple, classic Apple. But Apple already proved with the iMac that colors work. The iMac comes in bright colors like blue, purple, pink, orange, yellow, green, and silver. So the question is, why not Mac Mini? The Mac Mini is no longer just a box you hide behind a monitor. A lot of people place it on the desk. Creators show it in their setup videos. Developers keep it beside external drives. Students use it in small rooms. Businesses use it in clean workspaces. So if Apple offers 5 colors, suddenly the Mac Mini becomes more personal. Blue for creators, black for pro setups, silver for classic Apple users, purple for people who want something different, pink or red for a bold desk setup. And this is important for YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. A colorful Mac Mini is not just a computer. It becomes a setup product. People will make desk setup videos around it. People will compare colors. People will ask, which one should I buy? People will post unboxings. That gives Apple free marketing. Now let's talk about demand with real numbers. According to Gartner, worldwide PC shipments in the first quarter of 2026 reached 62.8 million units. That is up 4% from the same quarter last year. But the bigger point is Apple. Apple shipped about 6.684 million units in that quarter, with 10.6% market share. Apple also grew 12.7% year over year. That means Apple grew faster than the overall PC market in that quarter. So when people say, do people still care about Macs? The answer is yes. The market is not dead. The Mac is not dead. And compact, powerful computers are becoming more important. Now look at what is happening in the computer world. People want small machines that can do serious work. They don't always want a giant PC tower. They don't always want RGB fans, cables everywhere, and huge boxes under the desk. The Mac Mini gives the opposite experience. It is tiny, it is quiet, it looks clean, it uses little space. And with M5, it could become much faster without becoming bigger. That is the perfect formula for demand. But Apple has to be careful with price. This is the biggest point. At $799, the current Mac Mini is still attractive, but it is not as shocking as the old $599 entry price. The $599 Mac Mini was easy to recommend. It was the just buy it Mac for many people. At $799, buyers think a little more. They ask, should I buy a Mac Mini or should I spend more and get a MacBook? They ask, should I buy a used Mac Studio? They ask, should I wait for M5? So if Apple launches Mac Mini M5 at $799 with 512 GB storage, that would make sense. If Apple pushes it higher, demand could still be strong, but the excitement may slow down. Because the magic of the Mac Mini is value. It must feel like the smart buy. Not the cheapest computer in the world, but the smartest Mac for the money. Now let's compare it with the iMac again. The iMac is beautiful. It has the screen. It has the camera. It has the speakers. It is ready out of the box. But the Mac Mini is more flexible. You can use any monitor. You can use a gaming monitor. You can use a 4K display. You can use 2 or 3 displays depending on the model and setup. You can choose your keyboard, your mouse, your speakers, your desk layout. That flexibility matters. For a student, Mac Mini means low desk space. For a creator, Mac Mini means clean editing setup. For a developer, Mac Mini means power without noise. For a small business, Mac Mini means a compact office computer. For a YouTuber, Mac Mini means a good-looking machine for the setup. And for Apple, 5 colors means 5 reasons to talk about the same product. Now, here is the honest part. Macworld's latest rumor roundup says no reports currently indicate that Apple will offer new Mac Mini colors. It also says no major design change is expected for the next Mac Mini. So if we are being accurate, the M5 Mac Mini is more likely to be a performance refresh than a full design refresh. That means same small body, same general shape, same clean look, better chip inside. But that is exactly why colors would make sense. Apple does not need to redesign the whole product. It could keep the same body and simply offer new finishes. That is a low-risk way to make the product feel new. Now imagine Apple's launch message, Mac Mini now with M5, more power, same tiny size. Now in 5 colors, that is simple, that is clear, that is easy to sell. And buyers understand it instantly. They don't need a 30-minute explanation. They see the colors, they see M5, they see the price, and they understand the product. That is how you create demand. Now, should you wait for Mac Mini M5? Here is my simple answer. If you need a Mac Mini right now, the M4 model is already strong. It has 16 GB memory, 512 GB storage at the current base level, a tiny body, and more than enough power for most daily work, editing, office tasks, schoolwork, and coding. But if you already have a working computer, and you are not in a rush, waiting for M5 could make sense, because M5 brings better graphics, better memory bandwidth, and better long-term value. And if Apple surprises us with colors, then the wait becomes even more interesting. But don't buy based only on color. Buy based on your work. If your work is basic, browser, office, email, YouTube, light editing, M4 is already more than enough. If you edit videos, work with big files, run many apps, or want to keep your Mac for many years, then M5 could be the better choice. And if you want the most power, then the M5 Pro version, if Apple launches it, would be the real one to watch. Because the base M5 will be great for most people, but Pro users always need more ports, more graphics power, more memory options, and better support for heavy workflows. Now let's come back to the big question. Can Mac Mini M5 in 5 colors create huge demand? Yes, if Apple gets 3 things right. Number 1, keep the price close to the current level. Number 2, make 512 GB storage standard. Number 3, give buyers colors that actually look premium, not toy-like. If Apple does that, this product could hit multiple audiences at the same time. Students who want their first Mac, creators who want a clean desk machine, developers who want compact power, offices that want small desktop computers, Apple fans who love colorful products, and setup lovers who want something that looks good on camera. That is a powerful mix. The Mac Mini is already one of Apple's smartest products, but with M5 and colors, it could become more than smart. It could become exciting, and that is the difference. A normal chip upgrade gets tech people talking. A colorful Mac Mini gets everyone talking. So my final take is this: Mac Mini M5 in 5 colors is not confirmed. Don't treat it like official news. But if Apple actually does it, the demand could be massive, because this would combine performance, price, size, and personality in one product. And that is exactly what Apple does best. Now tell me honestly, if Apple launches Mac Mini M5 in silver, black, blue, purple, and pink, which color would you buy? And more importantly, would you buy it at $799, or would Apple need to bring back a lower price to make it a true hit?